Well, let me just introduce. We have Nick and Wyatt Park, father-son. Thanks for joining us. Back again, Colton.
Glad to be back.
All right.
Father-son.
Father-son.
Right.
So we got father-son duos. We have all four of us in Renewables. We have first and second generation renewable energy.
It's the family business, it feels
It's
like.
the family business.
Does feel like
You guys too.
Yeah. Can't get away from it.
And Wyatt, this was your idea, man. You
Yeah,
reached out and
I wanted
said-
to get it out for Father's Day. I thought this would have been a real cool episode to do, father, son, and just dig into all of us in the same industry, sort of our following in our father's footsteps. And I thought that would have been a really cool episode. But because we're all in this industry, none of us can sync up our schedules.
That's right.
I'll take a second Father's Day. You in for one?
I'm good.
You
Yeah.
take two. It's all right.
I deserve it after raising these three. I should get 3 a year.
That's true.
There you go.
True. 3. So where does Wyatt rank? How does the
Middle.
middle? Okay.
Yeah.
Older brother is a professor out in Texas.
A&M.
A&M. That's what it is. I keep thinking UT. And then my younger brother's a staff writer for a games magazine.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I drove a truck and work in renewables.
Okay. Well, we're covering a lot of careers and industries here.
Bases.
That's great. Well, shoot. I don't know where to start, but how about a little fun? Before you knew what your dads did, what did you think they did for a living?
Not come home.
Yes.
My dad worked shift work when I was a kid. So, it was cool. He got to go to a lot of things that my friends' parents didn't get to do. Like he got to go do football practices, and he would come on field trips. And I did drumline in high school, and he pulled the trailer for us. So he got to do a lot of cool stuff, but he just wasn't home most nights because he was working nights. And I just kind of thought everyone's dad did that. I didn't really have a reference for it.
But what did you think he was doing?
Oh, shoveling coal. No, seriously, that's what. When you ask a kid, Dad, what do you do at work? I shovel coal.
You transitioned over, I forgot about that, in 2012?
I came to
Help me.
Renewables in 2012. Yeah. Before that, I'd been doing natural gas power plants for almost 20 years, and then but I cut my teeth in coal for a couple of years when I first started.
Yeah. Okay. How old were you in 2012?
18.
Okay.
Well,
A little
17.
older then. A little older then. Okay. So it was kind of
and I think we went and did I want to say my senior year, we took a field trip to Topaz. While it was under construction, and Dad gave us the green energy tour. I'm trying to, what class did we do it for? Maybe chemistry.
Yeah.
And we did the same thing when I was growing up at La Paloma when he was working. My dad used to work for the company that I work for now. I work for NACE Renewables, but NACE Corporation still owns and operates La Paloma. That's where he worked.
Okay.
So it's sort of crazy how connected everything is. But even at 17 years old, it was like, yeah, my dad's the boss. My dad does this. My dad does that. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we have a better understanding as children of blue collar men, what you guys do, what you guys go through. And I don't know. That was the impetus for this episode, was getting to get the whole group together and be like, hey, our dads are awesome. They have helped us into an industry that, this is green oil. This is the future.
Yep.
And I just thought that would have been a good conversation.
We're all here because of this idea.
Yeah, well, you're
So
right.
It is a great idea. It was then, it still is. And thank you for getting us all together. All right, so I'm going to unpack all of that over this hour. Give me a minute. Yeah, no, but you're right. Great summary. That's why we're here. All right, so not come home, but he got to do the cool stuff. What about you?
You're not gonna like the symmetry here. When I was there's a running joke in my family that when I was really little, I used to think my dad worked on airplanes because he was traveling so much. He was always gone. I used to think he lived on airplanes. When I was real little, I used to draw pictures in kindergarten of him in a suit on an airplane. What does your dad do for work? He's on an airplane. Because mom would always say, he's on an airplane. He'll be home soon. You know, that sort of thing.
I never even owned a suit.
This is FR suit, right?
Yeah, I still don't own one.
Yeah.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah. All right, not bad. And did you guys see yourselves going into the energy business, the renewable energy business?
No, I started out as a truck driver. You know,
Okay.
I graduated high school and realized pretty early that I did not want to go back to school.
Okay.
So yeah, I drove a truck for 4 or 5 years. And I really it was especially like, towards the end of COVID, I was done. I was just tired of it. It's sort of a miserable existence, and it doesn't pay what it used to. And so it was like, Dad, how do I get into your business? Like, how do I join the family business? And he's like, you got to get hired somewhere, and you don't know anything, so good luck.
Vegetation management.
Yep,
Yeah.
vegetation management,
yeah.
working for Pierce. That was
That'll
my
get
first.
you out there.
Your
Hey,
foot in the door, huh?
yeah,
That'll
and
get you out there.
hey, dude, say what you want about veg guys. That is work.
Yeah.
Some blue collar work for you.
That is hard work. Probably the hardest day's work I've ever done was out there holding a weed whacker, cutting grass under panels. And it really, though, it was a great first job for the industry. I mean, I still will tell people that, oh yeah, I want to get in the industry. You should go find somewhere to cut grass because like it will really, you know, it's the shoveling coal of solar. It's,
Yeah.
you know, it's hard labor, but it really gives you an appreciation for, you know, now, you know, working on inverters. And I'm like, oh, this is so much better than cutting grass, vegetation management. Yeah. What did you do?
Oh man, I wanted so badly to not be in the family business when I graduated high school. I was encouraged by everybody around me to go to college, go spend $100,000 in 4 years of my life to get a fancy piece of paper. And so I did that. I went to UC Santa Barbara for 4 years.
Oh, nice.
Studied political science and professional writing. And then after that, got a job in politics. I graduated college in 2020. Heck of a time to go get a job in politics. And did that for about 1.5 years, 2 years, and decided pretty quickly in that environment I did not like working in politics. It was very, very political.
Sounds poor.
Yeah, no, polarizing is a good way to put it. Even the good guys are bad guys no matter what way you cut it. So then I happened to be in Huntington Beach at the time. That's where I was working in Orange County. Oh, they're flying around. I happened to be in Orange County working in Huntington Beach, so I just started bartending and quit that political job and needed some cash. So started bartending and bouncing around, and that panned out about as well as you'd think it does. It's only so much money to go around that way. And I also, you know, after 1.5 years of that, I just thought I wanted to do more. And I wanted to apply myself a little bit more. And thinking about what kind of skills I had and also what sort of foot in the door I might be able to get somewhere in a career-centric path. And Dad's been in renewables since before he was 18 years old, 17, 18? 18, and his whole life, and he's made an incredible career out of it. Took hard work and dedication, and he just made a good life out of it. So I thought, well, let's go give it a shot, see if I can do it. And got a job working solar out in Virginia. They offered me a position in California and a position in Virginia. I was like, let me get out of California for a bit, go cut my teeth.
The dad's industry's close enough. I need the other side of the country.
Well, I wasn't going to go into wind. I couldn't follow him exactly, so I had to...
I'm so terrified of heights. I can't even. I mean, I can't even take jobs that are like commercial working on roofs. I'm terrified of heights, and I'll take a pay cut to stay on the ground doing utility scale.
Who did you work for in Virginia?
I worked with Depcon Power.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
I know the
Yeah.
telecom guys.
Yeah, big in solar. And I worked O&M, not the construction. And it was a great start, little 30 megawatt site. Figured out how solar works, learned DC, learned AC, learned inverters, and it was a great about year and a half out there. But eventually needed a change of pace, wanted to step up the game a little bit, started doing a little bit of professional procedural writing for some of these people, technical writing for DevCom, and then also just enjoyed learning electrical theory and writing and reading schematics and then procedures, and I got really big into safety. I noticed there's a culture in renewable energy that tends to sidestep safety. You're familiar.
I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah, so I wanted to see if I could change that a little bit, So how do I change that? Let's write some procedures, and let's write some procedures that are safe, efficient, and easy to understand and do as a technician.
Yeah.
And so I started talking with a couple different companies, and just 2 months ago moved out here to work with Green Energy on a wind turbine site here in Tehachapi to do some procedural writing with them. And for the last month and a half, and probably for the next couple of months, I'm just learning how to be a wind turbine technician.
Cool.
Started climbing my first towers this week, and I too am very afraid of heights.
Yeah.
It doesn't get better, not yet at least. But it's been pretty good.
Yeah, the only thing I have to do with heights on my site right now is I have to climb 13 feet to do my weather stations. And that is terrifying. And I'm sure I look comical 13 feet in the air, clinging to the weather station.
When I had to do met station stuff, I was scared. You get that 6-foot A-frame out, I was like, all right, someone hold the ladder. You go up.
So are you using your what you learned in college, part of what you learned there, in doing your technical writing?
I never thought I would, but I am.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I did a bit of professional writing in college. Mostly studied politics. It was American politics, international relations, things like that, which involved quite a bit of heavy writing and reading. But a little minor in professional writing is putting itself to use now. I had to dust out that old degree hanging in my attic.
Nice.
Politics will come back into play. It's not the word politics, but it's that you had an education on how the government of this country is structured and how it works, and that may come into play too. Who knows? Maybe you'll be helping us write policy 20 years from now.
Yeah, be
about the industry, because you know how it works.
We sure need some help.
Sweet.
Whoever's writing those policies today is not doing a great job.
It's amazing how many people think I work at Sunrun. They're like, oh yeah, you do solar, you put it on roofs. I'm like, no.
Right.
No, there's actually like massive power plants that are just like, vast arrays of like mirrors in the middle of nowhere. And they're like, oh, okay.
I'd like to take this time to thank another one of our wonderful sponsors, Podge Engineering. Podge Engineering, making wind and solar all we know it can be. Are your renewable energy assets underperforming or not performing at all? Did you expect many years of longevity and they're failing on you now? Podge LLC offers many customized, engineered products and solutions to get these assets back on track. Podge Engineering also performs root cause analysis, engineering services, procurement, and construction. Visit podge.org, that's PADGE.org. Remember Podge, making wind and solar all we know it can be. What was a myth or something you had wrong, right? A myth that you thought might be true, and then you got working in the industry and found out the truth of it?
I think my favorite one is that solar sites do nothing at nighttime.
Okay.
Was like nowadays, most modern inverters, will do your power factor for you at night. They'll switch over and open their AC contactors and do whatever it is that makes
Power
reactive
control.
power. Yeah, they'll do your power factor at night, and they'll just operate. And
The push reactive power?
yep,
Okay, I didn't know that.
like the new T-Mic Ninjas, the SunGrow 4400s, those, at least those two that I'm aware of are capable of doing it, and it really helps. Like at night on battery sites.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a battery guy. That's one of those things that, like, oh yeah, when the sun goes down, everything's safe. No, and crazy, solar panels make power with moonlight.
Yeah.
Like it's negligible, but it's cool.
You get some PV from moonlight, yeah.
That's cool.
It is trippy whenever I'll be out there and throw an amp clamp on. You're like, oh yeah, there's no load, so amp clamp reads 0. You go test into the combiner box. You got voltage.
Yep.
It's cool.
All right, that's a good one. You any myths or things you thought one way and one another?
I don't know. Probably. I was trying to think of some, but I think if I thought something one way and learned the other, I just
Forgot
remembered.
it.
I just remembered the right way. I don't know.
Do wind turbines really make AC like combine down into DC and then invert again to send it out?
That's right.
That is so cool.
Yeah, they don't have an inverter on the pad; they have a converter.
Okay.
Turns AC to DC and then DC back to AC. And it's largely for power factor correction.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say why
Frequency control.
Well,
Mostly frequency control. So it's 60 hertz plus or minus 1 on the USA grid. Yeah.
That's really cool. It's just one of those. I'm not a wind guy. Either.
Yeah.
Just one of those things I had heard about and like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. Nick, what do you think about Wyatt being in the renewable industry now?
Well, I think it's a lot better than truck driving.
Yeah.
Yeah, I worry a lot. And when he first got into it, I was very concerned and had not sleepless nights. I won't go be crazy and say that I literally stayed up all night, but I was very concerned. My wife and I were both concerned about, it can be dangerous. It's looking to get you all the time. And with where the industry has gone as far as training goes, kind of across the board with, and how, just the way the business is now with how short-term people stay where they're at. So companies don't invest as much money and time into training because, a good portion of the techs will jump for $1 an hour. So the training, depending, it's company dependent, but the training is kind of not what it used to be. When I think of the rigorous training program we had under First Solar O&M when I started, compared to what's done now, it's you can't even compare them. So I was very concerned about combiner boxes scare the crap out of me, right? And I know that there's a lot of mistakes that can be made in them. So I was concerned about who was going to be training my kid. So when after Pierce, the first job that he got was working with a friend of mine, a colleague that I used to work with at First Solar, Johnny Nicholson, who runs field services over at Miller Brothers now. But he was working, we were both working for Renewable at the time. And he needed, I had done an inspection on some sites out here in the desert, and basically old Next Tracker that had all of the dampeners falling off. And so we said, hey, this is what's going on. This is why, you've got modules being ripped off. You need to, it's going to be a big job. And he's like, oh, I just need some laborers. I need some local guys that I don't have to pay per diem to and travel to. And I was like, oof. I was like, well, my kid's looking for a job, but I'm not recommending him, you decide, right? You decide. And I said, but he's a warm body, and I felt okay because I knew it was going to be pretty much all de-energized day work, and at least it would put some money in his pocket. So he started doing that work, and I was very comfortable with him working for Johnny and being trained by Johnny, because we both came up, and as far as renewables go, we both came up through the same company and the same training program, and I know the emphasis that he puts on training his guys. So that made me feel good. And then when he started moving into doing other things, getting into the DC work, I was like, it scared me. I was worried. And I was like, one company he was working for, like, wasn't providing some of the PPE that I think is necessary when you get into a combiner box. So I bought it, and I said, you use this, and if anybody gives you any shit for using it, you tell them to come talk to me. So I was very, I was concerned, and I still am. I still, because I know what complacency can do, no matter how good your training is, and I know that sometimes equipment just breaks, and things happen. And I've been involved with 2 fatalities in the course of my work in the power business. And it's real. And also a lot of near misses or severe injuries that I've investigated or in some way been a part of. And so it scares me. But I'm the training that he's received for the 2 companies that he's worked for, I'm happy with it. He got some good training up here at Rise. And
those guys are the best.
I know those guys, that they do a good job. But it does scare me. I was a mechanic coming up, right? So I never really had my hands in the electricity very much. Or in renewables. I mean, I came to renewables as, from basically a millwright type of background or an operator background. So I don't, that it's all scary to me. And
Yeah.
so I worry about it. It's better now. And I think that Wyatt has the right amount of fear and caution, and I haven't seen him get to the point yet where I've heard any complacency come in, or, oh yeah, well, no, I don't really need to do that, or, oh, no, that's not really necessary. I mean, I've been on sites before. I won't mention the O&M team, but I've been on sites where a dude's opening a combiner box for me, an energized combiner box for me, wearing Crocs, shorts, no gloves, and no glasses, where I'm like, dude, I know this is not your company's policy. Let's get your PPE on. Oh, no, this is what's required. I'm like, that's not what's required. That's not even what's required in Mexico. You know what I mean? So
You see enough of those blow up, and it's just.
But yeah, so I'm proud of him, and I know that it will be a long-term career. So that takes a lot of that dad anxiety, off the table. I know that he'll be employed as long as he wants to be employed doing this, and it's good paying job and lots of stability. But I do worry about the inherent risks that are out there when you've got your hands in equipment.
Yeah. Okay.
I know that was a long speech.
His reaction the first time that I sent him a picture of my 40 cal was great. He's just like, please, son, be careful. It's like, no worries, Dad. Just opening low brakes on giant deep fryers that make power. Transformers are scary.
Well, even wearing your 40 cal when they blow, it's still a bad day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
again, not naming names, but I know somebody who was just working with a guy who had one go thermonuclear on him.
Yeah.
And he had his suit on. Everything was okay.
Kinda.
But it dude's real sunburnt now.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
bad day. It's a bad day. Well, Nick, I get that fear. That is, I just try to swallow that deep down inside and don't let it come out again. But I completely understand that.
Yeah.
Having gone through more small injuries than I can count at this point. I get it. Okay. But I'm very excited. Like, this is one of the fastest growing industries on the planet, specifically for this country. Energy in general, renewables is a huge player. So, like, they're embarking on the beginning of a long career that's going to take care of them, and their families forever. So they, if they choose to stay in it. I was excited about that. I didn't know where you were headed in politics. I was just rooting for you. I hope this works out.
Could have told me it was a dumb move.
I didn't think it was dumb. You love the country, you love the government, you went and learned all this stuff, and you're going to start a career in it. I didn't know the world was going to really, like, the country was going to hate each other so much in 2020. But so it happened.
Who would have thought?
Yeah. So that was a rough deal. You never know what. But I'm very excited. I promote, people joining the industry wholeheartedly. But you're not wrong. Safety training and RISE is the best, hands down, solar training out
So
there.
good.
You both have been to classes there.
I went to their 1 and 2.
Yeah, I've taken ABB Ultra certification and SMA CP Series inverter certification.
Oh, fine.
Sweet.
Very good.
And I'm right now privately looking to take their new to industry class.
Okay.
Just pay for it myself and go.
Good for you.
One of those things when they were developing it, I think we were up there for ABB training. And I was like, oh, dude, that is so cool. Because, like, I'm working on it, but I don't necessarily understand power completely. It's one of those things that, I try to do a better job of teaching guys now. If I've got guys on my site, I try to do a good job of, like, trying to teach them the things that I wasn't necessarily taught so that they understand the risk.
Mm-hmm.
Because in technicians, I think the gap is that you've got a lot of people that know how to change parts. They don't know why. They don't know why they're changing that part. They can't identify, when there's a failure, they don't, this is what happened to cause this failure. They just swap the part, move on.
Yep. You're learning all the theory behind it.
I'm trying, yeah.
And then the electrical mechanical components and how they interact with each other.
Yeah, and it's cool. It's cool to be able to troubleshoot from a place of authority rather than, I don't know. Let's start pulling stuff out and look for where the magic smoke came out. It's like, you can, for the most part, you can listen to an inverter and be like, yeah, there's a frequency problem in your IGBT stacks because that sine wave sounds dirty.
Yeah.
And that's experience. And that's just, that's not stuff you're necessarily going to learn swapping panels.
Right.
Throwing glass.
Good for you. Well, if you can hear an IGBT frequency off, you are experienced. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
When you got into the business, did you have oh man, my dad makes so much money, I want to make so much money. Do you have people doing that to you now? Where like you're working and you have a friend that's like, hey, how'd you get that job? He's like, I want to do what you're doing. I want to live the life you're living. Like, do you have that happen?
You guys are making money. I didn't know that was happening.
You paid for this?
Maybe I can relate to your friend. I don't know. No, not so much about the money, I guess. You let me know where those good paying jobs are. But definitely because I think much like you, I feel that I have a tangible career path in front of me, and I love my work. I love sinking my teeth into a problem. I love learning the theory of electricity and mechanical parts and how they come in together. I did want to mention I took their intro to industry training.
Oh,
well, the Tech 1 was kind of that. I don't know if
Okay.
that's the same class you're talking about.
I think it is.
I took that in the Tech 2, and I've watched millions of YouTube videos and read books, and I've yet to find something that beats their electrical theory knowledge and training. It's incredible.
Well, and even when Juan was building that course, it was like, because he's one of my mentors from Pierce. And so
yeah.
when I came to my first, I think it was ABB class, and I showed up and he's in there, I was like, Juan, how you doing, dude? How's life? Hey, I'm still in this business. And his sort of similar conversation is like I would have with my dad, where he's like, oh, wow, that's so cool. You're being safe. Hey, we're going to teach you, you're going to be safe.
He's got a great mind. But learning that theory and why the parts do what they do, why something failed, understanding troubleshooting and how everything comes together to create the lights we have in here right now is very fulfilling to me. It's very, it's what I'm looking for in my career, something that I can provide, a reason why, And I think a lot of my buddies are envious of that. A lot of them are just working their job that they started out of high school, or maybe, got a degree in something that they ended up not loving at the end of 4 years, and got a job in it and stayed in it because it's what they studied and it's where the money is and it's what they're now good at, but they don't love it. And I got very lucky. I love this.
In today's fast-paced industry, having the right tools isn't just an advantage, it's essential. That's where ETI Energy Tools comes in. With over 75 years of industry experience, they deliver strategic procurement solutions that enhance safety, efficiency, and cost savings. ETI provides industrial tools, safety gear, test and measurement equipment, and heavy repair solutions, all backed by a vast network of manufacturers. Whether it's tool kitting, PPE standardization, or high voltage tooling, ETI saves companies time and money while ensuring they have the right tools for the job. Contact ETI at etienergytools.com to learn more and gear up for success.
One of my niece's husband, he just started last week with, who are those guys? Here to Serve.
Oh, yeah.
Those new guys.
Yeah.
He's pretty much doing the same thing, starting at the bottom, and hopefully, work his way up.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always loved throughout my entire blessed career I've had is getting guys or gals, or whatever words I'm supposed to use now.
Those work here.
Yeah. Getting people who are good hard workers, that just need a shot, giving them opportunities.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of good friends now that are still in the business, still sitting behind the board in a control room at a giant power plant, running it, who everybody told me when I hired them, because back in the day, man, you had to have cred. You had to have come through the Navy nuke program, or worked your way up through over at the Salt River Project or one of these big projects, to get a job, even a low-level tech job or operator's job or mechanic's job. And a few guys, I had the opportunity to, because I was the boss at that point, I said, no, we're going to hire them. And they've been wildly successful. And occasionally they'll reach out and be like, I've been here 20 years now, I've been gone out of it for, 10 or 15. And they're like, just wanted to still thank you for that. And I'm like, hey, you made me look good, but it is a great business. And I love that there are places still where people who are hard workers and have a good work ethic and somewhat intelligent, you don't have to be that smart. I proved that. But that can be successful and build a career.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been pretty bitchy.
You'd be surprised how smart you are, Dad. You're-
I live inside this head. I know.
That's true. Boy, yeah, I don't want anyone to see me from the inside here.
I think
A lot of Batman memes and stuff.
I think being the
of movie
son of
quotes.
I think being the son of someone who's like industry famous is weird. Like I can't go anywhere. I for a while I was using my middle name as my last name because I just got tired of the. Oh, you know Nick? Yep, that's my dad. Oh wow, so that's why you got this job. It's like,
Oh, you're telling me I can't walk into a room with a person he knows because of this. Every single person that's ever heard his name or seen his face knows exactly who I am as soon as I step in the room.
See, I have the opposite problem.
I was sitting there looking at you guys going, man, he looks a lot like him. And then when you took that hat off, you're like, wow.
Yeah.
That's my running gag. You think I look a lot like him? Just wait till I pop that hat off.
That's pretty cool.
Thank
You could have
you
done
for
a lot
saying
worse. You could have had a lot uglier dad to look like.
That's what I tell him. That's what I tell
We
him.
might have had full head of hair, though. I don't know.
Yeah.
I tried my hardest. I got to 25 and couldn't. That was a losing battle.
Hey, man. The struggle is real.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's
All
tough.
right, brother.
You're doing good. Yeah. I
You're
like
doing
it.
good.
I like it.
No, it's challenging, but also very rewarding. Being the son of industry giant. It's cool. I mean, shoot, we're here.
We're here.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was sort of irritating when I was younger, but as I progress and move on in my career, to be like, oh yeah, you ever heard of Nick Park? Like, oh yeah, I think he's like a construction guy or something. He's always like flying a drone. And I'm like, yeah, that's my dad. It's changed over the years.
Yeah.
From oh man, this guy's gonna know me to let's see if he knows my dad, because that's exciting.
I think I'm a lot more famous to you than I am to the rest of the industry, son, but thank you.
You'd be surprised.
That's probably right.
That's the way it's supposed to work, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to
I
work.
appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, when I was a kid, I didn't want to have anything to do with this industry, and it takes a bit of pride swallowing because I'm kind of in the family industry, but I also have the best encyclopedia of information and advice and wisdom in how to grow in this industry.
Yeah.
And it's my father. I use it. It's
Pretty cool.
fantastic.
Good job, Dad.
Yeah, he didn't start asking until like 26.
We all have to go through our own trail, right?
That's about the age I was. Yeah, I was 26 too.
Yeah, he ended up in Virginia on a solar site, calling every night, going, "All right, how's this work?"
What the heck are amps again?
Yeah.
You can't find the tables anywhere. That's my favorite one.
Yeah, that's right.
Come on, tell the story.
Oh,
It's a good one.
Oh no.
Day one on site, right? We're walking in or driving up, right? And my boss is
It's my favorite one.
talking, or they have to work, and of course there's always too much work and not enough time to teach and train. So we got about 7 tables to get to today that aren't tracking right. And most commonly said in the industry, trackers, right?
Mm-hmm.
We had FTC trackers, single row control. And they keep saying you had 9, 10 tables that are messed up today. We got to go get to them. I'm like, a table, a table's messed up. I'm like, all right, I'm rolling. All right, cool. Where are the bad tables at? and let's we'll fix a table today. We got 10 of them, and they go, that one right there. I'm looking into the field and I see a tracker that's not lined up with the rest of them. And again, at this point, I'm so green in the industry. I came out of a bar in Huntington Beach and walked onto a solar field, and I'm looking at a tracker that's pointing east when it's 3:00, right? And, all right, how many tables do you see? Where do they start? Where do they end? How many legs on these tables? And what kind of varnish are we using? It took forever. I swear to God, it took like 2 weeks for me to understand that they were referring to a single controlled tracker as a table.
Were you not? I call them all tables.
Tables.
So I thought I knew what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Were you
He's
a
looking
little
for
bit
table.
too intimidated to ask because you didn't want to sound stupid? Like, hey, what are you talking about by table?
No, I straight away said, what tables?
Oh, okay. Right away you asked him.
It was maybe a little bit of not great teaching, I think.
Yeah.
But everybody's got their own way. And
Yeah.
I think I didn't learn great from some of the people I was paired with right away in the industry. Going to Rise was one of the biggest leaps I made in my learning and training. But no, he said that's a table and that's a table, and the tables are what move. But I'm looking at a whole row, and I'm not familiar with how many. I don't know what a row controller is, so I don't know how many there are, and I don't know where the brakes are. So is a whole row a table? How long is a table? And I think it took me about 2 weeks, maybe a week and a half, to really understand just how the DC field was laid out.
Yeah.
And do you see these tables now?
Yes.
Are they with us?
These existential tables.
How many tables do you see? I think might be my favorite part. How many of these do you see right now?
I think it took me a while to understand that a whole row, not a while, a week, couple days, right? That a whole row was not one table. Mm-hmm. And now, knowing what I know, there are some trackers that track like on a drive line in a block, and they would move together. Man, if that's how I was introduced, I never would have figured out what a table was.
Yeah.
ATI trackers would have screwed me.
The terminology is wild, and then the nicknames for things in all energy and probably all industries. But when my friends and I launched Altair, and now I'm working with how do we go fix individual turbines, and they're asking for bananas and spiders and different nicknames for stuff. I'm like, I don't know what that is. And then tell me something I still don't know. I still don't know. I'm so useless right now.
Yeah.
You Google it, and that didn't help.
I told one of my trainers at this new job, after about 3 iterations of explaining, I forget exactly what it was, something in a generator to me, which I'm still learning. I told him after 3 or 4 times, can you use different words? Because he kept kind of using the same ones. It's like, man, I am not following here.
Yeah.
You have to be able to ask questions.
Yeah.
You have to be able to
Yeah.
do that. I think after a few years of experience, I don't know, tell me if you feel differently, I'm way comfortable asking questions.
Oh, it's 100%. Especially on the safety side. Like
Oh, yeah.
once you sit down or once you go through an event where you see something dangerous, I think it's way easy. Hey, question about this, and I don't know if wind is like this, but in solar, technicians like we'll call each other up. You know, different companies. Hey, man, I know you're really good at this one piece of equipment. You know, I've got this error. Do you know what might be causing that? And it's real easy to just get, you know, assistance. Just guys you worked with in the past or people you might know. I think that gets way better with experience, with age.
Gotta build your Rolodex up, right?
Yeah, and it's cool. It's cool to work with guys who then are like, yeah, I remember doing this for your dad 12 years ago. And I'm like, oh,
My
that's
network,
weird.
my network is everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's my secret superpower is the network of people that I know that I've surrounded myself with that are all smarter than me. And I've always tried to hire people and surround myself with people who can answer the questions, right? Because I can't. So I work very hard, and it kind of comes naturally, even though I don't consider myself like a friendly person. But I work really hard at maintaining those long-term relationships. And even if it's just, you know, I tell people happy birthday on LinkedIn all the time. It'll come up. It's not even somebody that I know, right? It just pops up. I don't know how that works, why it comes up and tells me that, you know, some dude's, it's his birthday. And I'm like, it feels good for when people tell you happy birthday. So I tell them happy birthday. And then sometimes, you know, relationships build out of that, and you start talking to people. But I work not intentionally, but I work hard at maintaining those relationships and checking in on people. And I don't think I do it for what I get out of it. It's just it ended up being part of my DNA, I think. But having that network that I have makes it so that pretty much anything. People call me all the time. Do you know anybody? Yeah. Hold on, let me look. You know, and you know, in my phone, my contacts, nobody else would be able to decipher it because, you know, I put in there what I know is going to trigger. Hey, this is, you know, the dude with the red hair and the backward hard hat from, you know, the site in Rosamond. You know, I know who that guy is. So
I'm going to steal that advice. I look at so many names and go, I don't know who this is. Should I keep the contact?
Yeah.
Because I can't remember.
Yeah. But anyways, that network of people that are just all industry giants, that is, like I said, it's my superpower. It's what I lean on. And I ask a lot of questions. I've never had a problem sounding stupid, right? Mm-hmm. And so I drive people nuts. I know I do on sites, especially if it's like a new piece of equipment or new technology, or I'm doing something that I haven't done before. And I ask a ton of questions. And sometimes people think I'm testing them, right? When I'm asking them, and they kind of look at you like, oh, and I'm like, no, dude, I really don't know.
Yeah.
You know, I really want to learn. So I ask a ton of questions, and I know that I pester people sometimes, and I kind of warn them, you know, I'm like, hey, I'm going to ask you a lot of questions. I don't know anything about this. But if you don't, man, how do you learn?
Nick, you don't sound stupid. I mean, not to point out the obvious, but asking questions is a sign of intelligence. And so is being intentional about maintaining relationships and professional networks. That's a sign of intelligence. It's just the opposite. We don't sound stupid when we ask those questions. No. You sound smarter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely, because you're wanting to learn. I'm the same way. Yeah, when I ask, you know, what's the avocado seed? I've never heard this term before. Mm-hmm. We go into the kitchen? I know. Well, banana? Nicknames for stuff out there. Yeah, no, I add stuff, yeah. We need the fake leg. What's that? I don't know, I made it up.
We'd like to thank our sponsor, Altair Energy Services, and their highly trained, expert technical staff. leveraging decades of renewable power management experience into customized solutions for everyone to meet their energy goals and contribute to a better future for all. Altair's team of hardworking, respected experts are providing full-scope, turnkey repairs, planned and unplanned maintenance, system upgrades, fully autonomous technical crews, supplemental staffing, and customized dynamic scheduling to fit your power production needs. Contact Altair at info@altairenergyservices.com and learn more about their wide range of capabilities across multiple power technologies and platforms.
Go get me the left-handed smoke shifter.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It lost all its white smoke. I need a can of it fast.
Yeah, bring me a can of steam.
I was sent to look for tracking fluid the first week out there. Whew, that was a rough one because I like dead on believed it. I was not in the space to get punked. I was just like, man, I gotta find this tracking fluid. I remember calling my dad and being like, Dad, do you know anywhere that sells tracking fluid in Tehachapi? And he's like, son, I want you to real carefully say that sentence again. And I was like, oh shit. He's like, how long have you been looking for it? It was like 6 hours. It's like,
I'm on OT right now. I'm still looking for it.
I drove to Lancaster.
paid.
We're working out there in Kent Hill. I drove to Palmdale, came back, went up to Tehachapi, came back. I'm like driving all over the place. Like I'm walking into stores, man. Like I need tracking fluid for Next Tracker trackers, and they're like, "Well, we don't sell that." I'm like, oh, "Damn it!" Running around. Finally, I ask. I'm like, I'll ask my dad. If I need to sound stupid, at least I'll sound stupid asking my dad.
Yeah.
And my dad's just like, "You're an idiot."
I was just yesterday. This is a funny one. In the hub of a GE 1.5, working on a battery change out, and I came in a little late because I'm pretty new, so I didn't go in for the early stuff. And I came in a little late because I had to hand the batteries over. I was the labor. Anyway, we get in there, and they're working. Guys take a break, and they say, Colton, grab the washer finder. We dropped a couple washers. Grab the washer finder and reach around. I've been around the block a time or two. I know that probably doesn't exist. I start thinking, is it a magnet? We're in a metal shell. I don't know. It's all magnet. I'm not going to get a washer with this magnet. And I'm kind of thinking about it for a second. Am I the washer finder? Is it inside me? Is it part of who I am? Is it my hand?
I need to be the washer.
So I kind of start looking around. I'm like, maybe that must be it, right? If I just find the washers, why do I need the washer finder? So I started looking around, and then they start laughing. They hand me a flashlight. That's the washer finder.
That's a good one.
Funny terms.
It's a good one. I was out here at the manufacturing plant when it was really booming. I can't remember the years. Like 02 to 05 area. And my team was the electrical assembly and testing. So run the cables, wire it up, and then fire it up. We were hiring so many new people. So when we were laying cable with somebody, I'd wait for somebody to tug on it to try and get it over there. And I go, oop, we need the cable stretcher. It's out back. You're going to head northwest in the yard, and you're going to see it laying out there. Bring it in here, and we'll fix this up.
Get the wire stretcher.
Oh, man. Yeah. We had a lot of guys walking in the desert for a while looking for something they didn't know existed.
That's a good one.
That kind of hazing's fun, though. That kind of hazing's fun.
I love it because now I get to do it to other people.
Okay.
Now I'm not the one walking around looking like, man, where did you even put this tracking fluid? Like,
Don't let them go 6 hours, though.
no, I usually
long.
can't keep from laughing. It's usually like, I can't do that to you, man. I can't. I just start cracking up laughing. It's like good-natured hazing versus like, I don't know. I've never really been hazed in the way that makes the news, but
Well, me either. Let's not do that. Yeah.
This is
If it makes the news, you cross the line.
This is fun you guys brought this up. For the past 6 weeks, I've been extremely on edge for hazing and being asked to pick stuff up that doesn't exist or go find Turbine 635. It's not out there. I'm really trying to make sure that I'm trying to be sharp. So far, I think I've gotten it, unless there's a really long running one that's still going and I don't know about it yet.
Could be.
Could be. But that's
all right. It'll make
I'm
a
the new
good
guy.
story later on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After you take over the podcast for your dad, you'll be able to tell that
There
story.
you go.
Tell that story to the guests.
microphone fluid or something.
Yeah.
The different fluids just crack me up because, like, in my head, I'm like, where do you even put tracking fluid? And like, I'm like really thinking about it. It's like, just the deadpan. Oh, son, you're an idiot. It's just
Show up with cans of slew drive grease or something.
Good. Well, where do you guys see your career going? What's the hope? What's the excitement?
I just don't feel like I'm ready to be someone's boss. Like
It's okay.
I definitely would have like imposter syndrome. Like one of my biggest irritants is like working for a guy that doesn't that knows less. And so immediately, if I was going to be someone's boss, I would be worried that they think I'm an idiot, and that would bother me.
They'll think you're an idiot.
Yeah. See, this is
Even if you're not an idiot,
Right. Yeah.
they're gonna think you're an idiot. And when you're the boss, you're gonna know you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know we're using a fun term, idiot, but it's nerve wracking for every human.
yeah. So I mean, that's sort of the next step. Past Tech 2, you got like Tech 3 / like Tech 3 lead. Usually it is a Tech 3 working with like 2 or 3 Tech 1s. It's funny, the like teaching the safety side, not scary, because in my head I'm like, we'll teach this, and I'll probably learn something while I'm teaching it, and ask all the questions you want. This is one of those things like, and it's really helped now that I work alone. So unless I need help like throwing a stack or something. Stack is another one fun industry term. You talk about throwing stacks, people are like, stacks of what?
Replace the stacks.
Yeah.
I think Slee Stacks.
Think what?
Slee Stacks? Do you remember this?
Yeah, I remember that.
What is this movie?
No, it's Land of the Lost.
Land of the Lost. Yes.
My favorite show on Saturday
I
morning.
think that every time I hear that term. We're throwing stacks.
Throwing
I saw
stacks.
that on TV once.
Yeah. What about modules? Modules is another one too, but I
Modules.
confuse people with it all the time because I interchange, a stack and a module.
Yeah.
Or a module. In my head, I know what I'm talking about.
The module's a panel?
Yeah.
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 Well, also in some inverters, they're called power modules, the actual stacks.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
like you ain't talking
Oh
about
yeah,
modules.
module's a generic term for a lot of stuff.
In wind, they call modules little computers. It's a module.
Sure.
So yeah, I tell you what, the whole being a boss thing, I think that most people who everyone that I've worked for or with, that was their main goal, is to be a boss, was not a very good one.
Nope.
I think it's kind of something that the best ones, the best leaders, kind of get drugged there kicking and screaming, because other people recognize it, But people that's their big desire to be the boss, most of them, they're not good at it. So I fully encourage you never to be a boss, or have that. If you're meant to be one, if that's where you're needed, somebody will hire you to do that. Someone will train you up and move you to it. But my advice, especially in the challenging times that we're in, as far as the industry and politics and, tax credits, and that everybody's panicked about. And this is one thing I've always tried to do, is stay as close to the steel as you can. The closer you are to the steel, the less likely you are to get whacked when times get tough. And I had a job at one point where I was made to be a middle manager, and I was like, no, I still want to always be called, or in my title, the plant manager at Topaz. I want to always have that. I'll do this regional job, but to me that sounds like middle management, and they're the first ones to go when times get tough, and that's what happened. So I encourage people, stay close to the steel, work with your hands as long as you can, and as long as they're paying you a good wage for what you're doing, as long as you feel satisfied. But there's not that many people that are cut out to be the boss and to handle that pressure and that responsibility, and can do it and still be happy. It takes over your life. As soon as you, even in renewables, or at least in solar, where a lot of there's not a whole lot of demand on you at night, as a boss. You don't get a whole lot of phone calls like you do in the rotating equipment business. But it's your life, right? That site is your life, and you're responsible for all those lives. You're responsible to those guys and those ladies' families. So I think you stay close to the steel as long as you can, and you become an expert on everything. And then when it's time, somebody will bring you along, into doing that.
That's the best way it works.
Yeah, and that's kind of the next step. Like I've sort of peaked at, technician, working with my hands is like sort of the last job where that's, you're not in charge of anybody, and I love that. But yeah, the future is some sort of supervisory role probably, and I just don't think I'm ready for it yet. What about you?
Oh man, I don't know. I feel like I just started climbing the tree, and right now I'm on the trunk. And in the future, there's just so many branches. I feel like there's so many options. And I don't know. I imagine the position I'll probably be in someday is one I haven't even heard of yet. I think right now, like thinking about what I want for the rest of my career, I feel very information hungry. I want to learn. I love learning about this industry, the electrical, the mechanical, how we generate power, how it's sold, how it's used, how it's monitored. I want to become an expert, I suppose. I felt pretty good in my basic foundational knowledge of solar. Didn't make it to Tech 3, but I understood how solar power plant runs, and started wanting something different. So now I'm in wind, but now I'm green. I've been here for less than 2 months, and I'm just kind of on a path for more information. I just want to learn. I think as far as the short to medium term of my career, I'm just going to try to keep learning. And in my role now as a technical writer, I mean, it's a great way for me to learn and teach at the same time, and that's oftentimes how I learn best. So I don't know. I don't know where it's going to take me, but I just want to keep learning.
It's a good way to be. All right, I'm going to address something I'm going to call the myth of the boss. I believe that the boss doesn't exist. There is no such thing. We all have different jobs, roles, and responsibilities, and we need to go and perform that way. And if you are a manager, director, supervisor, foreman, executive, it doesn't matter. You could use this term boss. But it's a myth. It doesn't exist, because your customers are the people that work for you. You're responsible to invest in their careers and help them grow. And you're going to want to get the heck out of there and do something else anyway, probably later in life. The other thing is, I'm going to add to it and then come back. The higher you get, the fact of it is literal Game of Thrones. You guys watch Game of Thrones? You see that thing? It is real. Okay, nobody's dying, but they're looking to unseat each other all the time. And if you didn't go and your army's not there with you, you will get unseated. So instead of thinking about the boss as a job, think about the role. Is it a supervisor role? What are my duties, my responsibilities? What are my deliverables? How do I care for these people? Manager, director, executive. And then in any of those cases where you're a boss, you're really just the caretaker of the throne, if we go back to Game of Thrones. You don't get to sit there. You get to care for it for a while until somebody else comes along and takes it over from you. And they're going to. And you need them to. Otherwise, you don't get to go do anything else in life. But be excited about it. And you get to go move somewhere else. And don't treat anybody like you are the boss. It's not a good way to treat people, is it? No. When you are responsible for other people, that is your responsibility. And if they're not growing and promoting and learning and their careers aren't flourishing, you suck. Get out of there, go do something else, and hopefully somebody unseats you or you walk away yourself. Being a boss is a myth. Everybody just has a different job to do. And then when we all do our jobs effectively, the whole team wins. The whole company wins, and everybody gets to celebrate. We all just do different jobs.
Yeah. Then as a team, you create a good product. You provide a quality service. Everybody has their role.
Man, when you're clicking with a team, there's nothing like that feeling.
Feels good, doesn't it?
Right?
It's just like, I worked out. I worked out at my dad's plant at Topaz for 2 years, and you know, we're driving through fixing inverters and turning power back on, and each day is like 13 megawatts on today. That was off yesterday, and like really like teamwork like that when you're clicking with the team. I don't know about you. To me it's just like everything's like all is right with the world. Everything's good. Everything will be all right.
It's very feels like you're doing your job. It's feels like success. It's a little win each day,
Yep.
right? And it's momentum building, and it creates drive for the next day, and I think it makes every part of the team want to work better. I think it's really good.
Yeah.
Let's thank our friends over at Renew Safety, your proactive partner in safety solutions. With comprehensive safety consulting, ensuring compliance with all safety regulations and standards. Expert staffing solutions, providing trained safety professionals tailored to your project's needs. Commitment to sustainability, promoting a safe and sustainable working environment. Contact Renew Safety at info@renewsafety.com and speak to one of their industry experts about their proven track record for safety management on numerous projects. Or perhaps you're looking for construction safety staffing, contractor monitoring, incident investigation, or program development and training. Check out Renew Safety at renewsafety.com.
I like thinking about the future of the job that we'll probably end up in probably doesn't exist. You're right. It's probably not even something that exists right now. But like, as far as our future, I just think about like what, 25 years ago, what did they think we were going to be doing? In 25 years, what are we going to be doing? And like, my wife and I are about to have our first kid in September.
Congrats.
Appreciate it. And I'm thinking like, what's my son going to do? If he wants to go into the business, what is it going to look like at that point? Like, is he going to be flying a drone that installs panels? You know what I mean? Like it's, what did they,
Those are automated.
It's already
future.
happening.
In the future. Yeah.
He's been there. He's seen.
Yeah. That's right.
No, that's a really cool way to think about it. Especially in our industry. I mean, kind of started off by saying it's growing like crazy and ever evolving. And yeah, who knows what it's going to look like. All I know is that in that 25 years, I want to have spent the past 25 years learning everything I can about it. And then we can put ourselves in the best position we want to be in, right?
Yeah. I want to have a sterling reputation
That's a good one.
at the end of the day, regardless if I finish back, shoveling ash and coal. I mean, honestly, I sometimes I don't long to do that again, but I'm building a big 300 megawatt site right next to an operating coal power plant in Utah right now, and I look up at it and I in my mind I know what's going on behind those walls and inside that cooling tower, and I know what those generators are doing, and I remember, I mean, it was a good place to start because you actually learned how to operate and be a mechanic. Stuff was moving. You adjusted things. You changed fan speeds and dampener angles and adjusted fuel. You actually did things. They weren't all automated. So no matter what it is, I want to 25 years from now, well, hopefully, yeah, I'm hoping to still be alive at that point.
Yes.
And
I'm hoping you're still alive too, Dad.
and be spoiling grandkids and stuff. But the most important thing to me after taking care of my family and them thriving is my reputation. That when people come to my funeral, that they're hey, you know what, he was a good dude. He was honest. He didn't lie to me. He worked hard every day. Not every day. Some days I don't work hard.
You gotta rest so you can.
Yeah, but I mean, that's in business, in life. I mean, like I said this the last time I was on, that my dad taught me that the only thing that you can control is your reputation, and that's important. And you can't really redo it. I mean, you can work on it, and you can, people make mistakes, but you can't really redo it. So no matter what you guys do, whatever decisions that you make, because you will be faced with opportunities to get ahead or make more money or screw somebody over, unseat the current king of the throne. You'll have those opportunities. And I would encourage you to think and, be concerned about your reputation, because in the long term, when times get tough and when jobs aren't out there, your reputation with people will make the difference. It'll get you work, it'll keep you in jobs, and it'll help you sleep at night. Knowing that, I've worked for people that ask me to lie, ask me to do dishonest things. I'm not doing it. I mean, I will paraphrase things, but I'm not going to lie to anybody, and I won't, do dishonest crap like that. So, guard your reputations in your future. And I tell my other two boys, who I want to take the opportunity to say I'm very proud of them. Lucas, who's working on his PhD at Texas A&M, and Morgan, who's a staff writer at PC Gamer. All three of my boys just way outdid me, and very proud of them, but I encourage them the same way. Guard that reputation. Don't give anybody an opportunity to call your reputation on the table and be able to, say, anyway.
That's the best dad advice I've ever heard, probably. And you're right. I remember that. We talked about that. Something you can't control. Your words, your actions.
Yeah.
Everything else is out of our control, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great advice.
It feels unfair to me that other people don't have dads like ours. You know what I mean? Like, when I think about, like, if nothing else, just like the resource that he can be. That without getting too sappy, I don't think I would be the man that I am and have the ability to do my job the way I do it without you being who you are. Like, you're a fantastic dad, but also as professionally, like, you're great to have in my corner. And I feel bad for people who don't have that. In my head, you're like the godfather of wind, and he's like the godfather of solar. And we just have this, we have these resources.
Don't boost his ego.
Thank you for the respect.
You're right. We're very, very fortunate to have one, the industry resources, but also just good dads.
You're getting a little, he's a little extra emotional. That was sincere. It's because you're almost going to be a dad, I think.
Yeah.
You got a lot going on right now, don't you?
It's scary.
Yeah, you bet. You're going to be a great dad. You're going to teach that kid all the stuff you know, just the same. It's going to work out just fine.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird becoming a father.
Yeah.
It's not just weird.
I'd say don't overthink it, because I could never figure it out anyway.
Yeah.
I just stopped trying.
And here we are.
Yeah.
We made it.
You just teach them, well, and it's going to work out just fine.
Sorry, I was getting emotional.
Just be a good dude, man. Be a good human. Treat people right. Treat your kids right. Love on them. Take every opportunity to hug them and tell them how special and how smart they are and how much you love them. Every opportunity you get.
And get them into renewables.
Yeah.
That'll work.
Yeah, it is cool, and I guarantee this will start happening to you, to have people see you love your job and be like, hey, how do you get into doing that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's something that we're very fortunate to have. I guess I can't speak for you guys, but I love my job. I love being in this industry. And yeah, we I feel very lucky because never once in my life did I ever think that, I wanted to climb wind turbines and do DC health. But it's fulfilling. I love it.
DC Health is like one of my favorite parts of solar. Dude. It's so much fun.
Me too. The DC field's very simple. It's a lot easier than
Ground fault identification. Oh man, I know everyone hates it. I love that stuff.
Guess what we're doing after this?
Short something out. All right,
We're
great.
gonna fault out the lights.
Hey, that's something common that we hear from, like almost all of our guests. I think we can hear it and see it, but they actually come out and say, I love my job. Right? And we're all renewables, this whole, the whole media business here, the podcast. And so many people come on and they say, I love my job. We're hearing from Doug Wickersham, brought us these cool pictures back in '82. I love my job. And he's retired. And he's still so excited to talk about it. He said, I couldn't wait to wake up every morning and go to work. My entire career. Like, holy smokes.
Yeah.
I can't say that. But boy, I do love my job.
I do.
There were some bad ones I had, I suppose, but yeah, I love my career.
I dig it too, man.
Yeah.
I love that I'm still learning every day. The last 4 or 5 years learning the construction side of the business. Yeah, I'm still digging it. We were struggling with a main transformer, GSU, on a site that's got some moisture in it, right? We're trying to bring this thing online and bring the site online for the first time. And I spent a couple hours while I was waiting on, between processes, reading about kind of the physics behind that process and how that moisture moves in and out of the paper and the oil. And the whole process that I kind of knew at a high level before, but I knew it more of, hey, it takes this long to do this, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to do a 24-hour soak. I knew that, but understanding the physics of how it works, and I thought, this is pretty cool. I'm going to be, turning 60, and I'm still learning, stuff like this.
60 this year?
No, next year. Next month I turn 59.
All right.
So,
I agree.
You're just not that old in my head. I don't know, and I don't know if you deal with this, but in my head, my dad will always be like this hero in my head. He's I'm taller than he is, and I look up to my dad. Man, I am getting emotional.
All right.
It's the father-son episode. It'll do it to you.
Yeah.
That'll do it. I just wanted to be Batman.
Dude, what is it with dads and Batman?
Batman's my favorite.
He's obsessed with
Yeah,
Batman.
same.
Dude.
I think I caught a little bit of that too. I also want to be Batman.
Well, because you could be Batman. You just have to have
That's
cool
right.
stuff.
It's because he doesn't have a power, right?
That's right.
What you gotta
He
do?
just has cool stuff.
You need unlimited funding and some tragedy, and then you can be.
Yeah.
For the low price of a ton of money and tragedy.
losing both your parents
too.
and billions of dollars. You can be Batman.
And now we could be the Godfather. Nick.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I'll take the Godfather. That's pretty good. All right. Well, Wyatt, thanks for inspiring and rounding us up and hounding us to make it happen, because there were quite a few misses on schedules.
I'm glad we got to
We even had a threat to the
This is
schedule
real
last
cool.
night, but
Sorry.
no. Like, all right, well, we'll all stay tuned.
No, this is really cool, and it's like, it's cool to see your guys' dynamic too, and that's in my head. I was like, ooh, Father's Day, it'd be a good idea to do like Father's Day, do like father son.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate letting us do it and come together and have the conversation, and really good to meet you guys for the first time in person. And
Likewise,
I appreciate
Wyatt.
it.
It's been great to get to know you.
Yeah, it was very good. And you had a great idea. This is very unique. I don't know how many father-son duos are in this industry like this. I think it's very cool.
I've been meeting a few now, and because of the podcast, our network of friends that way has been growing, and we're finding more and more second generation renewable people. Even found one, not older than me, but close to my age as second generation. Yeah, boy, that's a cool story.
Yeah.
So you do work with one, yes, you do.
Yeah. Well, you guys after this soon as we wrap, you guys should be putting your contacts in each other's phones and building that network long term, because at some point you're going to need to know what he knows. You're going to need a technical writer, and you might need a guy that's troubleshot sun power units before. Or
I got questions about ABB
power
Ultras.
electronics.
We're gonna talk about.
I pretty much built them, taking them all apart.
Perfect.
So if you actually have questions, I'd love to talk about it. I love talking about my job.
Me too.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, me too.
Very
Let's
good.
do that after I get home and have some dinner.
It's dinner time.
That's right.
All right, guys. Let's wrap it up. Thanks for showing up. This was great fun.
Thanks.
Very
Thanks,
good.
Adam
Thanks,
and
guys.
Colton. And I still dig in the podcast. I think it's
Appreciate it.
unique. I enjoy watching it and seeing the different people you have on. Very cool.
Appreciate
Congratulations on the success with it.
Thank you. That would be the dream. Jacob and I only want these jobs. If we can ever figure that out.
And
Yeah.
if you're wondering, it's actually got a pretty good technician audience. I was talking to one of my buddies. I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to go do that show, that What's Up show. And he's like, oh, I started listening to that. That's on LinkedIn, right?
Oh, I love
So-
hearing that because no, I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like we do miss the technicians a lot.
Tech 2 working on sites up in Lemoore.
Oh,
Just knows, so whatever you're doing, your SEO, I guess, works.
I'll tell them to drop a comment or a like or something, and we'll see them there and reach back out.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Thanks, guys.